Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. I thought I would do some cards today. Today is May 1st. I just did a reading for the United States for the month of May. After a long diatribe, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess it depends if you like what I had to say. Um, oops. But I thought we could look at Russia and how Russia's doing this month of May. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll expand it to the spring. So this spring, of course, Russia is involved in the Ukrainian invasion, and I think as it stands now, we're waiting for some sort of spring offensive, either from the Russians or well, actually, probably from both, right? I think it's the Ukrainians who are going to go on the offensive, or so it's said. So we will see. I don't think there's peace at least they're not talking about it. Okay, let's see. This is for Russia and Vladimir Putin. How is Russia and their leader Vladimir Putin doing? What's going on in Russia? I think one of the problems we generally have when we're looking at any situation is really looking at it through our own eyes. And it's very hard to be objective because you always have that sort of subjective haze. And you really kind of have to be a student of the country that you're asking about, because they see things in a different way and their experiences are different and their histories are different. And what we can tolerate and what they can tolerate are generally different things. But I don't think anybody really cottons to suffering. I think some people are just sort of, what's that word? Can't think of the word, but you just sort of say, well, that's the way it's always been, so that's the way it's going to be. And I could be wrong. If there's any Russians out there that want to make a comment on that. America has been free, unless you're Black, or an immigrant, or a woman who wants to choose what she wants to do with her body. For a while, and I don't think Russia's had that. Like, they haven't really had that experience. I mean, the USSR, of course, fell with the fall of the Berlin Wall, and there was a lot of promise there in the early 90s, but I'm not sure if that was ever truly given. There were missed opportunities, we'll say, with that. All right, let's take a look at Russia. Yeah, so things aren't good. There's a lot of anxiety. That, of course, makes sense, whether you're Vladimir Putin or whether you're the Russian people. If you're the Russian people, you're like, they're going to take my son. Is he going to die? What's going to happen? We don't have enough food. We don't have, things are not good. So there's a lot of anxiety. I don't think they really want to be there. And of course, if this is Putin, of course, he has a lot to be anxious about. What challenges that is actually what I just said. It's almost like they're used to it. They're used to that, like, level of anxiety that at any moment, like, the ends can come. And so it's hard for them to see another way. They can't see another way. There's something being offered and they can't see it. Let's see what's underneath it. Okay, so they're waiting for something. Is this them waiting for the Ukrainians to do their offensive, or are they there waiting for help from other places, other countries? In the past, we have the Ace of Cups. This is a card of happiness, a card of contentment. I think to a certain extent, they enjoyed, they thought that Putin was doing a decent job for the country. even though in what we would consider being our people being taken care of is a whole different ball of wax than what they did. But I feel like in the past and perhaps they felt justified, perhaps they felt like they were doing something good. Of course, I'm not sure they were being told the right stuff. So kind of like us, like, we're not told the right stuff. That's what happened in Iraq. And we thought we were doing good, and we ended up doing terrible because we were being lied to. In the sky, we have the Five of Wands. So there's a lot of, that's exactly the same card for the United States, was in the exact same place. So there's a lot of back and forth. There is a struggle, I think, for power, infighting perhaps. I don't think there's I mean, Putin's in charge, but I think the people around him are getting in line, so to speak, in case Putin falls off the side of the boat. Excuse me. The immediate future, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. It's interesting that in this deck, the Pentacles are Chinese. So I feel like they're going to get some help from China, so maybe financial help from China, or some sort of resource from China. How it's seen from the outside. Family money. There we go. Certainly Russia is a very culturally rich, resource-rich country. It's just that they don't have the extractive ability to extract everything from the land. And of course, with the changing of the energy systems, that we're trying to sort of save ourselves from the earth annihilating us, just from the changes and the greenhouse gas and how that's changing things and the like. Our environment is very toxic because of the extractive technologies that we've had, that Russia has a lot of resources, but they can't always necessarily access them. Domestic situation. Well, this is very interesting. This looks like they're thinking about turning their back on something they've put a lot of energy, emotional energy into. So this makes me hopeful that perhaps, and it is the domestic situation, so this could also be the people of Russia starting to wonder, is this really worth it? Like, why are we doing this? All right, let's see, hopes and fears. The High Priestess. I think this is secrets coming out, and let's see. These are secrets coming out. So there's a fear of secrets coming out, or the truth coming out, maybe. Outcome, we have the Hermit. So the Hermit usually indicates a time of introspection and going within, and learning from the lessons of the past. So I feel like these cards are okay. I think this Queen of Pentacles in the immediate future could be China getting involved in the peace process, because I'm not sure America is really interested in peace. But I think China is, because the war economy on a certain level it would boost the Americans' finances, whereas more peaceful way where you're giving people like stuff that they need to live in their homes, like China has, they manufacture so many things that it may actually be they're more interested in the peace than the war. Let's see what's underneath it. We have the Ace of Wands. Interestingly enough, this was also in the United States as an outcome. So this is they're being offered a new beginning of sorts. We have the King of Pentacles. This could be Chi, Z, 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 G, G, right? That's how you say things. But this is also new financial opportunities, and an arrest from battle. I wonder if they're going to be offered some sort of financial situation, almost like getting paid off to get out of the Ukraine. I don't know. Well, I'm not sure what this all means, but that's what I see. So it does look like they're in a really bad situation, and that there's this more stable financial energy coming in to help them. And perhaps, I think, look, if you stop doing this, we'll give you some more aid, that kind of thing. Because they're really hurting. I think it's a country that's really hurting. So that's one way to do it, I guess. Peace is peace is peace, right? All right. So that was Russia. Now, let me see. I'd like to look at the Ukraine. Okay, that's what I'll do. Look at the Ukraine. So we'll look at Russia and the Ukraine in this read. I wanted to, I'll tell you, I just did one on the United States. It was very emotional for me. You know, I live in this country. I'm born on the 3rd of July. Just like, yeah, just like America. And while I don't consider myself patriotic in the way that other people think themselves patriotic, I do understand that this is a unique situation here, and hope is just so important. And the can-do attitude that comes, you know, the United States is a collection of people who've had to fight against the odds to survive, in a way. You know, a lot of people come from a lot of poverty, a lot of war, you know, they come to America to find a life. But unfortunately, that doesn't include Black Americans often, because of institutional racism. And it doesn't include the Native population, which were decimated and put in pretty much camps, you know, with nothing. They don't have much, except for like addiction. Now, I'm not saying it's all like that, but I'm saying they're not given much. And, you know, and yet there's power in them. In fact, it is, in a way, the soul of America is Black and red. All right, let's take a look. So we're looking at the Ukraine for the spring. Let's keep it till. So we're looking at what's left of the spring. We're looking at May and June, right? Because then June we have this summer solstice. So let's see how this how's the spring going for the Ukraine? What's ahead? What's ahead? Big country, you know, big. I'm not sure we appreciate how big it is. Okay. I like this card. I think they have the capacity to create the country that they want with focused intention. They have to stay on the road. They have to pick the direction and stay on the road with that. Okay, let's see what challenges that. It's interesting, the Five of Wands. So this card came up in the United States reading and the Russian reading, and it's all about this like climbing to power kind of feel. I feel like Ukrainians know what they want, and the people around them, either Russia or the United States, there's so much back and forth, and just this chaotic sense. And of course, this also, as a challenge to the magician, is just the chaos they find themselves in. How do they can stay focused amid the chaos? Let's see what's in the at the root of it. We have the Queen of Wands. This is their homeland. They love their country. This is a powerful energy. This is actually a Leo energy. Zelensky has his Mars in Leo at the first degree of Leo, actually, or just a couple of minutes in. And in May, Mars is going to move into Leo, and he's going to have his Mars return, which is a 2-year return. Takes 2 years to go around. And it's exactly opposite Pluto. So coming face to face with powers that are greater than yourself and having the focus. It's a powerful placement for Zelensky, but it's also a dangerous thing for Zelensky. And we need to support the right things here. In the past, we have the Three of Cups. This is a sort of friendship, friendly. And I think that they were, especially under Zelensky, they were trying to show that they're good people, and that they have the ability to be a democracy, to self-govern, to be part of protect democracy. They see themselves as, in a way, the keepers of democracy, and it very well could be that that's what they are. In the sky, we have the Victory card. Goodness gracious, this looks good. But there's always a caveat with this card. It's victory at what cost? Victory at what cost? It's costing them a lot. It's costing them a lot. But this is a fight that they've fought for centuries. This is a fight they've fought for centuries. In the immediate future, we have the King of Pentacles. So they are going to be well financed. And there's loyalty here. So I feel like the countries who are standing with the Ukraine are going to be very loyal to them. And that would be the EU, the United States, and any other country that is, supporting them and their right to their lives, really. How it's seen from the outside, a turning of the wheel. This is very, very positive for the Ukraine. Domestic situation. Yeah, not all positive. The people are having trouble seeing. It's this energy of being attacked, being tied up, and not being able to see when it's coming. So that's a lot of the bombs that are the air attacks. Although they say that they've been knocking down most of the bombs, at least the ones going into Kyiv. So they have that protective force, as it were, the protective force around them. Hopes and fears. Being stuck. I think it's a fear. Being stuck in this interminable situation. And let's see the outcome. I do worry about Zaporizhzhia. I do worry about Zaporizhzhia. And it wouldn't be the first time the Ukraine suffered the burden of a nuclear disaster. I'm not sure it's going to be a bomb that does it. I don't think, we have these nuclear whatevers, and I don't think that's what it is. I think that there could be some sort of nuclear accident that would really shift things and would change things. Certainly Chernobyl did. I'm not so sure if Fukushima did, but it did for Japan. It did for Japan. Let's see what's underneath it. Oh, strength. The Queen of Cups, compassion, and the Hierophant. So these are really nice cards underneath. There's definitely some illumination, but I do feel like there's going to be something big that happens there this spring. The Tower could be that we really see the Ukrainians and their true selves united in the right as in righteous, not as right as in right wing. Just be clear. These cards really indicate that on some level this was all sort of part of a trial by fire for them. They do have Pluto in Scorpio as a country, because the country, the latest sort of, what do you call it? The country is, was 91 or 92, and Pluto was in Scorpio at that time. So the south node of the moon has been, not now, actually. I think their Pluto's at 17 of Scorpio. But the south node going over that. A lot of what's coming up through this is really old ancient stuff. And now that Pluto is squaring the nodes, it's really about moving in the direction of letting go of the past, releasing the past, and looking forward to the future. But I think this was something that part of the world, I don't know, needed to go through, or but I'm not, something like that. These are heavy subjects, so I'm sorry I'm not a little bit more sure, but the Tower could be that the war is over too. That would be shocking, and that would be a good shock, because not all tower shocks are terrible shocks. But seeing who they truly are, and I feel like they are very, very connected. At least the spirit is very connected to Archangel Michael and the legions of light. So it actually, I know this is crazy. And again, sometimes I think I want to say these things because I want them to be true. But I'll put myself out on a limb. I think that there's either going to be some sort of ceasefire, there's going to be some sort of stoppage and of this situation. And hopefully it doesn't take a nuclear accident to stop things. And it's actually just an ability for us as a world to come together and insist that there be peace. All right, guys. I hope you enjoy. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it very much. I did sort of. Like and subscribe, and I will see you again. I'll do one on China too. I'll do that separately though. So I'll be back to do one on China. All right, guys. Take care. Much love. Namaste.